Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A Vogel Talks Menopause I'm going to be talking about, do perimenopausal symptoms get worse before the menopause itself? If you like my tips and advice, then please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. In the perimenopause, so this is the phase before your period stop for good, so you could still be getting regular periods, you may be starting to get irregular periods, but as this hormonal fluctuation takes place, symptoms can appear, they can be very varied, they can differ in intensity. You might get some that are really quite hard to cope with. You might get some that you just breeze along with. But some women do worry that if their symptoms get worse towards the menopause, that they will then end up having a really difficult menopause when their periods stop for good. So what I'm going to do today is look what happens through the perimenopause to the menopause, what happens, what symptoms you're likely to get, and how you can help yourself. So what's happening here as you approach the menopause? Now this can be up to 4 to 5 years before your periods stop for good. And a lot of women don't realize that the perimenopause can take such a long time. So what's happening in this phase is that your monthly hormonal cycle starts to change. There can be very subtle changes, and some women find they get regular periods right up till the end, but menopause symptoms start to creep in. For other women, the hormones can fluctuate quite dramatically. It's almost like a seesaw. One month your hormones might be really high, the next month they take a really big tumble, the next month they get high again. And this seesaw action can bring about different symptoms depending on which hormones are dipping and which are getting higher. So you can get a complete combination of different symptoms from month to month. And it can be really confusing because you're then not sure quite how you're going to cope with these. The problem as well is that these hormonal changes put your body into a tailspin. Our bodies like order, our bodies like balance. And when this order and balance starts to change because of all the hormonal changes, your body will try and fight against it. It wants to keep in balance. And that creates and uses an awful lot of energy. So your body is trying to adjust to all these different changes that are going on so that it can balance itself really quickly. But all these changes can then put a lot more pressure on the body, and that can then make it more difficult for your body to adjust. And also what's happening here is that we get stressed generally with day-to-day life. Most of us are really busy. The lives that some menopausal women lead, you don't stop from one minute to the next. So if you're really busy, if you don't even take time to breathe, if you get stressed, if you're run down, if you're fatigued, all of these will make it harder for your body to adjust. And that can then lead to perimenopausal symptoms appearing, and for those symptoms to get worse the further through the perimenopause you go, because the further through you go, the lower your hormones are going to get, and your body is going to have to work even harder to adjust here. So what we're looking at, how can you help yourself through this? Because if you think about it, you've got all these hormonal fluctuations happening, and then at one point your hormones go, right, that's it, I've done enough here, your period stopped for good, and that's you in the menopause. At that particular point, for the majority of women, symptoms are often easing off because there's not that great hormonal flux going on every month, because the body has finally managed to adjust and get used to this low level. So a lot of women do find that the perimenopause symptoms will be worse in that stage, and they will then ease off during the menopause itself. But I do know from all the emails I get that this doesn't happen to everyone. So what I'm going to do now is look at what you can do to help your body to adjust that little bit better. It's the basics. First of all, so important. Eat well. Remember, your body is using up an awful lot of energy in this adjustment phase, and it needs more of absolutely every single vitamin and mineral and essential fat that your body needs. So you need to eat well. You also need to rest to allow your body to recuperate. How can it adjust if you're running yourself ragged every single day and maybe you're not sleeping well either? So your body's just not getting a chance to do anything with all these hormonal changes. Remember sensible exercise. It's really important to keep everything moving and also to keep your heart healthy too. Hydration, so important. All these fluctuations can dehydrate you, and dehydration will make absolutely every single menopause symptom worse. So loads of water, and manage your stress. Again, this is one that is so much easier said than done, but you can look at things like magnesium, you can look at the stress remedies, and the extra supplements like B-Vits can often help to support your nervous system when it's going through these changes. Number 2, take control of your symptoms. You know, so many women write to me and they say, when will these symptoms end? And that's one question I can't answer, but what you can do instead of waiting for the symptoms to end, which could sometimes take years, the best thing to do is take control and try and deal with your symptoms. That's also going to make it easier for your body once you hit the menopause proper. So it's looking at symptoms either individually, such as stress, such as joint ache, such as fatigue. Try and figure out why these are happening, and then you can deal with them individually, or you can look at sort of multi-supplements. If your periods are starting to tail off, then you could look at our menopause support. If you're getting the hot flushes and night sweats, the sage. And also just remember that little changes that you can do during the day with your diet and stress relief can make a huge difference to your symptoms, and it will make you feel better, it will make you feel more positive, and it will help your body to cope that much more. Seek knowledge and support. Again, this is a really important one, and so many women come back to me and they just say, you've explained what's happened, what's happening, I understand it now. And it makes them feel so much better and so much more in control. So knowing why you're getting the symptoms, knowing what exactly is happening to your hormones in the perimenopause can make you feel so much better, so much more in control, again, when you hit the menopause itself, and you will be able to cope with that a lot better too. Look at support groups. If you're really stuck, maybe try and speak to your doctor. A lot of surgeries and health areas here in the UK have special menopause clinics that you can ask to be referred to. Look at women's groups, set one up yourself. You know, I always say to women, instead of suffering on your own, you're bound to know other women who may be the same age as you, who may be going through exactly the same thing. And just getting that little bit of extra support can make a huge difference to how you feel and also how you can cope at this time as well. And the other really important thing is prioritize yourself. If I'm doing workshops, one of the first things I ask is, where are you on your list of daily priorities? And most women are not even on the list. That's how little they prioritize their health and their well-being. So again, it's looking after yourself. It's not being selfish. If you get run down, you can't look after other people, you can't work as well, you can't give what you need to give. But if you look after yourself, you're going to be physically, emotionally, and mentally stronger. And remember the 30-minute me time. I'm forever saying 30 minutes, shut yourself away, listen to beautiful music or the sound of the rainforest or the sound of whales. Just do something for you for 30 minutes where you're completely cut off from the rest of daily life. And that can make a huge difference to your general well-being too. And don't feel guilty about it. I had one woman who I just said, do this. And she went to her family and said, I'm going to do this 30-minute me time every day. They noticed a huge difference in her mood and her happiness. And now what happens is if she misses it, they can tell, and they practically force her to go and do it. So not only will you feel better with the 30-minute me time, but it can make a huge difference for all those people around you too. So I hope you found this one helpful. If you have any queries about this, the perimenopause, it's a huge phase. I mean, this is just a tiny little snapshot of what can go on. It can be a really confusing time. So if any of you are wondering about anything in the perimenopause, whether it's normal or not, whether you should be experiencing this or not, then please just ask and I will be happy to help. And until then, I will see you next week for another edition of A. Vogel Talks Menopause.